My name's Steve Gindler. I'm a photographer from northern New Jersey, and I'm 28 years old. My real name is Sviatoslav Igorovich Gindler, and my username Sviatik is a shortened version of Sviatoslav. I was born in Lipetsk, Russia, and immigrated to Brooklyn, and then from there to New Jersey when I was 5 years old. I was really involved in the local music scene, and my band needed a photographer, but we couldn't find one that we could agree on. So I went out and actually bought my own camera so we could take band photos, and that's kind of how I fell into photography. What really drew me to abandoned places was the fact that New Jersey honestly just has a lot of them. It's a photographer's paradise. My favorite subject has to be a mix of a person and a background. Usually an abandoned house, usually a female. And I like to show kind of the juxtaposition of something really destroyed and rotting with something frail and innocent and beautiful. When I started out, I desaturated my photos a lot and I added a lot of clarity and all this stuff, trying to give it a certain aesthetic and feel. But now I learned that you can maintain moodiness in your images without losing vibrance or color. You can still have images that pop without sacrificing your aesthetic. As far as a message in my photographs, I try to leave it kind of ambiguous and up to the viewer, but at the same time there's always a little bit of a message, and it'll either be in my caption or it'll be right in your face. I don't try to stay too secretive about the message that my photos have, but I also like people to, take what they can from it. I started out shooting on a Canon, and then when Sony's mirrorless series came out, I was very drawn to it, mostly for the resolution and the fact that with the short flange distance, I can use basically any vintage lens. I don't really have any newer modern lenses except for my Sigma 35. So I'm kind of using like a Ferrari, but putting regular in it. My favorite lens is this Super Takumar 51.4 that's missing like pieces of the front element, but it still takes decent photos. For my film work, I like to use a Hasselblad 500 CM and a Polaroid Goose 600 SE. I think a role of a photographer in today's world is to respect your subjects, and that's in terms of the people you're photographing, but also the location. I think the most important part of staying unique is staying true to yourself and what you want to do instead of being influenced by what everyone around you is doing. I always try to challenge myself and shoot from locations that I usually wouldn't go to, try to shoot in bad lighting, try to mix up nature and abandoned places. I've always been really transparent about the issues I've had facing anxiety, and I've talked a lot about it in my work. This is why I try to show people in fragile states, but also in a kind of a serene setting. You're kind of struggling inside, everything around you is crumbling, that there is a safe place to come back to. I try to take photos for myself that also may have an impact on other people, but it's not the primary focus. I've learned to kind of stop caring at a certain point, and I just try to shoot something that means something to me. I don't really have a favorite photo per se, but I'd say that anything that Jess and I create together is the most memorable to me. We're always out adventuring, exploring, finding new locations to shoot, and finding new ways to bring out emotions in each of our work. So I'd have to say everything that Jess and I create together is, my favorite series or my favorite set. If I could go back in time and give myself advice on starting out, I'd say to just stay focused, stay with it, don't give up. Make sure the work stays about what I'm feeling and my emotions, and not worry too much about how it's going to impact other people.